Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kara, and today's video is going to be my August housing market update. As always, I'm going to be breaking up this video into a few different sections, those being price, inventory, mortgages, local news, and other news. Before I dive into this video, I just want to share a quick little bit of personal news. I already mentioned this in my prior video, which was like a day in my life vlog, but I know that some of you don't really watch those and really just watch the housing market update videos, so I figured I would mention it here too. But at the end of July, I actually got engaged. So my boyfriend and I have been together for over 10 years. On the date that we got engaged, it was 10 years and 4 months. So officially engaged now. Very happy about that. Just wanted to share that with you. All right, let's jump into today's content. Let's start out with price on a national level. According to a recent Redfin report, home prices were up 2.6% in July compared to a year ago. Even though the market has slowed down a bit, we really haven't seen much in the way of price decreases. To go along with this, I'll share a recent prediction that I read about. Earlier this year, I want to say maybe winter, early spring time frame, I shared some predictions of what some economists were thinking might happen this year in terms of home prices. A lot of them were saying that prices would likely stabilize. We maybe would see like a 1% increase or 1% decrease, nothing too major. But a new prediction actually just came out by Zillow. They're updating their forecast to say that prices will likely appreciate by 5.5% throughout this year. This is quite a bit different than what some other people were saying of a slight decline in prices. Quite frankly, this doesn't really surprise me. I'll mention this later in the video, but inventory is very low here and across the country. So ultimately, when we have low inventory and still some demand, there's going to likely be price increases or at least stabilization. I know a lot of places across the country are hitting record highs for their average and median sale prices. Asheville is definitely one of those places. Because of this, the total worth of homes in the US recently hit a record high in June of $46.8 trillion. Let's talk a little bit now about price on a local level. The average sale price for the Asheville region is up 10% year over year to $528,000. Not too surprisingly, the median sale price is also up, in this case by 6.4% year over year to $427,000. I've been talking to a lot of people lately about housing affordability and how it truly is so tough, especially for the younger generations or anyone trying to purchase their first home. There really aren't many starter homes out there. At least not what we would historically think of as a starter home. Not surprisingly, housing affordability is down 17.6% year over year and is historically low. Let's talk now about inventory on a national level. Total housing inventory in July was actually up by 3.7% compared to June. However, it was 14.6% lower than a year ago. Moving on to inventory on a local level, in the Asheville region, new listings are down by almost 25% year over year. Inventory overall is also down, this time by 10.8%. A lot of this has to do with something called the lock-in effect, which I've mentioned a few times in past videos. But basically, anyone that has purchased a home over the past couple years, or maybe was already a homeowner but refinanced their mortgage, has locked in a very low interest rate, typically in the 2s, typically in the 3s, and they're really not interested in selling and increasing their monthly payments significantly with today's much higher interest rates. Because of this, people aren't wanting to sell, and it has kept inventory quite low. On that note, let's jump into mortgage news. Unfortunately, interest rates have picked up again, and are now in the low to mid 7s depending on your qualifications and your loan type. I read recently that the Fed is considering another rate hike, so it will be interesting to see how the rest of the year plays out. The most recent predictions I've heard of are still expecting interest rates to drop somewhere in the 5s by the end of 2024. Again, if this happens, I do believe that we're going to see a very, very strong seller's market, just like we saw in 2020 and 2021. There's still a fair amount of competition out there right now, even despite these high interest rates. But if interest rates do drop, I believe that a lot of people sitting on the sidelines waiting for housing affordability to get a little bit better are going to jump into the market. And when they do, we're going to see more competitive offer situations, and home prices will likely increase at a greater rate. I've said it before, but it's worth mentioning that if you are financially stable and able to semi-comfortably make the monthly payment with the higher interest rates right now, it doesn't hurt to start your home search now and refinance later when interest rates do drop. The reason for this is that you're going to be paying less for a home now compared to a year from now or further out. I know there are still some people out there that believe we're going to see some sort of housing market crash or believe that we're in some sort of bubble, but it's really important to notice and realize that this market is so much different than it was in 2008. A big reason for this, as I've said before, is inventory. With inventory being so low and there really not being a good solution for that, there's really no statistic that's supporting any sort of housing market crash. In addition to that, lending practices are much more strict these days than they were in 2008. Alright, that's enough about mortgage news. Let's jump now into some local news. Dynamite Roasting Company recently received the Clean Air Excellence Award from the Asheville Buncombe Air Quality Agency. A big reason for this is because they have solar panels at their production facility as well as their coffee shop. They are also the first business to invest in an electric delivery vehicle. This last statistic is one that I found particularly interesting. A recent report by the U.S. Census Bureau and U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development shows that the median household income in Asheville has increased by 36% over the past 5 years and is now $90,300. This report included Buncombe, Henderson, and Madison counties. It's important to note that household income doesn't necessarily mean just one person. It is the household, so it could be 2, even 3 people bringing in that amount of money. However, I do think that this is significant and worth mentioning, because 36% in 5 years is quite a big jump. Well, that is actually everything for today's video. I don't have anything for the other news category, so I'm just gonna go ahead and end the video here. But as always, if you don't already have a copy of my free home buyer guide, I am more than happy to provide that for you. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'll leave my contact info here, as well as in the description box. Also, if you are someone that possibly owns a home around Asheville, and you've been kind of tossing around the idea of selling it, but not really sure how much money you can make off of it, feel free to reach out to me as well. I'm more than happy to do a free comparative market analysis on your property. Alright everyone, well if you like this video, definitely hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, let me know what your favorite part was of this video, and what you want to see next time. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this video with your family and friends. Alright everyone, I'll see you very soon in the next one.